Yo, let's chat for a bit. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Sunday evening? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's staying blessed. I want to chime in this evening. See how y'all doing first off, like I did this morning. Hope everybody had a wonderful day. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Couple of public service announcements. I feel good. I really do. I feel good. I feel great. I'm very grateful for everything that God has done for me recently. I'm trying to turn a lot of things around in my life right now, so I feel wonderful. I feel pretty good. Again, I'm just very grateful for everything that God has done for me, and I'm trying to push forward the best I can. Am I 100%? Absolutely not. But I'm working on it, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I'm glad you're doing good, Tangi. I'm glad you're doing good. Right now, like I said, I'm trying to get better and better each and every day, but I'm on the right track right now. I will admit to that. I'm on the right track right now. I'm trying to figure out what else did I have, because I don't think I had that many announcements like I normally do. Again, I'm trying to get my store up and going. I've been talking this for the past 2 weeks, and I feel kind of bad. It's just that life is what they say, life is lifing, but work been kicking my butt. So it's like stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I'm trying my best, and then, like I said, this is the last time I'm going to really announce this until I'm actually going to put it out there. My shop is going to be up this week. Guaranteed, no more excuses. I'm working on it. It's pretty much showtime. Oh yeah, I don't know how I forgot that quickly. My new episode to my podcast, Talk That Real with Lamar, will be on YouTube tomorrow. It's premiering tomorrow on YouTube. I'm going to be uploading it, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity. I'm just getting the ball rolling with my podcast. I'm very grateful. My special guest is my best friend for 30 plus years, Michael Green. Shout out to him. Very grateful that he was my first guest. You know, we chopped it up about our friendship, had some good stories to talk about, had a lot of things going on. So very grateful for that opportunity to really put that podcast out. So if you want to be a guest, on my show, entrepreneur, creative, anything, even if you have a story you just want to tell, come on now, come to the podcast. Trust me, I don't bite. I don't go crazy. It's just two people having a great conversation. That's why I call it Talk That Real. It's going to be raw conversations, just a vibe. That's how I look at it, just a vibe. So hopefully, I start getting more guests. I have a couple of them in mind right now. I'm going to plan those out as time goes on. But if you're interested, let me know. Inbox me, text me, call me, anything of that nature. I am ready. So just let me know. We'll talk about it. We can plan a date or a day, anything that we could actually plan out to record. And everything's done via Zoom. You don't have to worry about coming to my house or going to any type of studio. As long as you have a good camera, or should I say a good phone, which pretty much everybody got a good phone, whether it's an Android or iPhone. As long as you got Zoom, good lighting, it's pretty much easy. So yeah, I'm grateful for that to happen right now, that my podcast has started, and my podcast will continue to keep going. Just, again, let me know if you want to be on. Hopefully this week I accomplish a lot of things I have been trying to accomplish for the past few weeks. Work, like I said, work just been kicking my butt. I'm trying to stay on track on a lot of things, but it's just been falling apart. But I need to build up that aggression to actually put out what I wanted to put out, So hopefully this week I could turn the tide on a lot of things. So I'm very grateful for the Lord to help me to get through everything I need to get through and continue to help me push forward. Now, tonight, I wanted to talk about, do we know how to communicate anymore? And the reason why I bring that up is because, it could go through a lot of directions in life, whether it's in the friendship world, the family, dating, texting, social media, even work relationships. Communication is a top priority thing, and a lot of people claim they know how to communicate, but they really don't. Am I the best communicator? Let's start off with that. Am I the best communicator? I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but 9 times out of 10, I do my best to communicate with everyone the best I can. And I would say a good 90% of the time, I always get left on red. But it's all good because I used to get annoyed by that for the longest. I'm not going to lie. I used to get annoyed by that by the longest because I try my best to be available to a lot of people. And it's like right now, if they don't want to be bothered, they don't want to be bothered. But I feel that communication is a top priority thing because a lot of times we get to that point in life right now that it's like, we're all busy, all this and that. But then again, you can text somebody, you can call somebody, see how they're doing, all this and that. And you don't get no reply. But they're constantly on social media. And it's wild. If you won't be bothered, just say it. That's just how I look at that. But that's how I look at that concept because we all, like I said, now I'm guilty to it. I'm guilty of it also. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat that. I am guilty of it as always. But most times, if I'm really busy, I will still make time. I could be in the middle of a photo shoot, and if somebody texts me, I will reply back. I'm not going to sit here and act like, I'm the busiest person in the world. Nah. I'm not thinking that way whatsoever. I just feel that when it comes to trying to talk to people, trying to feel like, it's, I got a message. See, I lost my train of thought. Just that quickly. But it's like the communication these days, it is a hard thing to do. So I did get a couple of talking points in. I got them on my iPad. Just going to look at a couple of them, not every single one of them, because I did get quite a few of them down. It said, why do people disappear instead of just saying how they feel? I'm guilty of it too, but I don't do it often. I'm not going to lie. Do I do it on purpose? No. I do it because of guilt on my end more than guilt on their end. It depends on the situation. But a lot of times, it's like the communication be so bad, it's like they just don't want to be bothered. Just give me the word and I'll leave you alone. I've always been that type. But it's like we go through the world right now that it's like we drag every single thing out. And you're just making the situation worse than what it is. So that's how I look at that when it comes to disappearing. And like I said, I'm guilty of it too. That's why I said this, communication, I'm still working on that to this day. But it's like most times I get it right. I do slip up. Not going to lie. I slip up all the time. But do I do it intentionally? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just try to do the best I can each and every day. And whatever happens, happens. But I know a lot of people right now, I would say a good 90% of people, especially on social media, that do it all the time. They don't see the problem. But I see it as clear as day. So that's understandable. But also they said, has texting made communication better or worse? It depends. It depends. Because sometimes, texting, if you're busy, all this and that, texting is the best way, in my view. Is it always the go-to? No. But like, for example, if I'm at work, texting is the best thing for me, to be totally honest. Texting is top priority because obviously I don't want to be on my phone while I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? So texting in that situation, absolutely, it is a lot better. However, I wouldn't mind phone calls in the evening time. I call a few people up every once in a while. Not gonna lie. I just think that, like I said, in situations like that, yeah, texting would be the best option. but it's not always your go-to. Now, texting could be a worse situation, especially if y'all get into an argument. Because a lot of things could be, the communication could be all jacked up. You could say one thing, you might mean it one way, but they might see it another way. That's how I look at it when it comes to texting. So, like I said, it could be a good thing, but then again, it could be your worst thing. So that's why I say I'm a little 50-50 on that. But like I said, 9 times out of 10 when I'm at work, I'd rather text. Now, there were a couple of times I did get on the phone while I was at work. There's a couple of incidents. I remember the biggest incident was when my father passed because my sister had called me while I was at work, and we were trying to talk to each other, try to, bring the mood down a little bit, see, hopefully we'll get a word about what's going on with our father because he had been rushed to the hospital. And at that time, I had to really calm her down. She had to really calm me down. That was the only time I was really like on the phone while I was at work. So it's a rare occasion I do. So it's like at that time, I remember that story clearly because we were waiting on my mom because my mom was at church and she wanted to, she got the word at church and my father got sent to the hospital. And me and my sister were waiting. We were waiting on, what's happening. Like, because normally my mom would have called one of us by then. So I got off the phone with my sister and I called my mom. As soon as she answered the phone, she was crying. And I knew from that point, that's when I found out my father passed. So in that situation, that was the biggest cut in my entire life. And actually that changed my whole life around completely. I just feel that, that's why I say in that situation, I had to be on the phone. All that right there alone could not be communicated towards text. So, like I said, it depends on the situation. If it's an emergency, I don't mind being on the phone. At work, I can't say at home. At home, anything after 3 o'clock, if you call me, more than likely I'll probably answer. Unless I'm busy and it's like I said, I will call after I get done. Or I will text you until I'm done with whatever I'm doing. But any other time, no. I rather text during the day while I'm at work, and it's like I said, after 3 o'clock or after 2 o'clock, whatever the plant tell me when I'm off. I'm open to conversation until I go to bed. So that's how I look at that. So yeah, texting could be a good thing, but then again, it could be a bad thing because of miscommunication in a lot of ways. So another thing is, why do we assume somebody should just know what's wrong? I never got that vibe. Unless they posted something online, I never got that vibe with people. I never did. I never got that vibe. Like, I will always ask what's going on. I'm not a mind reader. That's one thing I'm definitely not. I don't know what's going on in everybody's life. Because social media, we post, including myself, we post all the great things about what's going on in life. Like, everything is spectacular. You with your family, all this and that. Like, oh, I got this. Congratulations on this. Ooh, this, and this. But no one posts what's really going on in their life. So like me, like I said, I went through so much this year. But do I post it? Not really. It could be a time here or there I would throw a shot out there. I'm not going to lie. But any other time, no, I would rather ask somebody like, okay, is everything okay? If you want to talk about it, we could. And if it's personal, I do throw that out there as well. If it's a personal thing that they're going through and they don't want to tell me, it's all good. I respect their decision. I respect exactly what they're saying. I'm not that type that's going to force it unless they feel comfortable telling me. If they feel comfortable telling me, it's all good. I will always pray for them. I will always sit down and talk to them. So like I said, if it's a personal thing, that's fine. I understand. But if it's not, I do ask what's wrong. They'll tell me. We'll talk about it. And I will tell them I always pray for them. And as soon as I get off the phone or as soon as I get done talking to them, I actually do say a prayer. Because everybody needs a word of prayer in life. And that's top priority. So when I say I'm going to pray for you, this ain't something that'd be like, oh, I'm just going to say it just to get you off the phone or get you off my messages. No, I actually do pray. I pray for each and every one of y'all every single morning. Every single evening, I pray for y'all. Every single time. I always do it. No matter what the scenario is, I always do it. So I'm not that type that's going to say it just because. 'Cause I know some people that do that. Oh, it's okay. No, I'm going to pray for you. Do they really do it? Do they really do it? I question that, and I hope y'all do it. I'm not going to say y'all absolutely don't do it, but I know on my end, when I say I pray for you, that's exactly what I'm going to do for you. So if whatever you're going through right now, like even this before I even go to bed tonight, I'm going to pray for y'all. Because I know everybody's going through something because life is tough. Life is tough every single day, I'm telling you. And this economy is not making it any better. It's not. So that's just how I look at that. Is a slow response automatically a sign of low interest? That can go both ways too. That could go both ways because you never know what they're going through in their life also. I feel that, if they're really busy, yeah, it's understandable to a certain extent. But if they only got one job and they really ain't doing anything and they're just slow, they're just not interested in you. And I learned that a lot. And I learned that to this day. Either the low interest or they just don't want to talk to you. That been my inbox a lot. I would just, let me say this. I could go on my messenger right now. I don't know how many friends I have on Facebook. I know it's well over 1,000. I know. I don't have 2, 3, 4,000 like some people do. But if I sent every single person a message about how y'all doing, how's the family doing, how I'm checking in on y'all, I guarantee within 1,000 people, I might get 10 people that reply back. Just saying. I might get 10 people that reply back. And then, like I said earlier in this live, I said I used to get pissed off about stuff like that. But now, as I'm 42 right now, it's like, I'm just going to move on because the thing is, you don't want to be bothered. Just say it. Just say it. Don't just read it and just keep going. And like I said, I learned this years ago. I lost a couple of friends in my life and I kept up with them. And that's why every single day I try my best to keep up with everybody because life is short. Life is short. You're not that damn busy. I'm sorry. I'm just being real here. Nobody is that busy to the point that, oh, maybe this person does care. Let me just reach. You gotta have a full-blown conversation. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking one question. How are you doing? Or even if I tie in that secondary question, hope all is well. How's the family doing? I'm just checking in. That's how I look at it. We don't have to have a full-blown day, week, month conversation about. All you gotta do is say everything is all good. Thank you for checking in. That's all I ask for because, like I said, life is too short, and I'm not understanding why it's so difficult to just reply back. But you're steadily posting pictures and everything else on the internet every day. That sometimes stuff like that really bothers me, but it is what it is. Like I said, at this age right now, it's like I'm still going to do it no matter what because that's just in my blood to check on people. Because again, life is too short. But if you reply, I appreciate it. But if you don't, it is what it is. I mean, I'm just being real here because one day they're going to say no one really shows how to take care of, but it's like people that care, you just ignore them. But again, I'm not going to let that get to me right now. So I understand. There's one more I had here. Is it? Yeah. It said, oh yeah. I had to look at it again. What's worse, no communication or inconsistent communication? I would say no communication. I would say no communication because the simple fact that if you don't say anything at all, you just don't want to be bothered. Inconsistent could work out to a certain extent. because you can still ask, okay, what happened? If they give you a legitimate answer, that's understandable. But then again, if you ask them what happened, that day and they just don't respond at all, then yeah, no communication will piss me off even more. I'm just being real here. So yeah, communication is top notch. But like I said, I'm not the perfect person at communication. I'll admit to that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm doing this video because I'm perfect at it. I'm not even close. But I know my boundaries. Let me put it that way. I know all my boundaries when it comes to communication because life is too short. Life is too doggone short. And I want people to understand, like, if you don't want to be bothered, just put it out there. Just put it completely out there. Do not say, don't ignore it. Don't just leave it on red. Because like I say, you never know. Well, somebody could probably just really need you right now. And you're just ignoring them. You're just going to read it and just keep going. And like I said, not one person is that busy. I'm a busy person. You're a busy person, but you're not that busy. Because I know some people like that. I know a lot of people like that. They claim that they're always busy. Oh, I got this to do. I got that to do. But again, it's like you're open to, talking to everybody. And it's becoming a problem. That's very true too, Tangi. I didn't think of that as well. That is so true. Especially about the because they need something. Oh my God, that's a conversation for another day. But unless if they're bored, I mean that's a red flag as well. But I'll be more pissed off about they need something part more than the boredom, because I know some right now that it's like I don't hear from them for years. I'm talking about years. They just pop up out of nowhere and say, "Oh, I need this." No, absolutely not. That right there is not going to happen. So, yeah, it's communication is a huge thing right now. So that's something we all have to work on. So, like I said, I'm not the perfect person. I don't plan to be. I'm not trying to act like I am, but like I said, I know my boundaries. I know exactly what I'm doing. Because like I said, I slip up all the time. But am I consistent with it every single day? Absolutely not. Nah. I know my flaws, and I live up to my flaws. And that's just how I look at it from that point. Other than that, this topic is over with. Yes. I'm always the worst person every day. I'm always the worst person every day. I'm not going to lie. I am the bad guy in a lot of people's stories. But what can I do? I'm always the bad guy. And then when I really become the bad guy, it's like, oh my God, he snapped. Sorry. But it is what it is. I'm not going to, beat myself up in that way, because everybody, I say this sometime, actually someone put this out there a couple years ago and I really stuck with that. They said you are the bad guy in somebody's story. No matter what the scenario is, you are always the bad guy in somebody's story. I know with me, it got to be at least a good 8, 9 people. I'm like the worst person in the world right now, and I know it. So, what more could I say? Because like I said, that's life as a whole. Everybody is a bad guy in somebody else's story. So it is what it is. So that's my time for the evening. I hope and pray that everyone have a wonderful evening. I hope everybody stay blessed. And always keep God first. I'll talk to y'all later.